Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome. Once again, we're in PPW week. This is the second person we're having on. Why not go to a place that I love going to? Let's go in the dark woods of Pennsylvania. Let's give a warm dudes at ringside welcome to the god,
Yeah.
Lucius Krow.
Yes.
Welcome,
And
Lucius.
welcome all. And to everybody that actually knows who I am and don't know who I am, will get to know who I am today.
Awesome, Lucius. So, who trained you?
Trained. I trained in several places, honestly. I first started years ago. Not that years, as if I'm old, because God doesn't age. But I did start it in Philadelphia in the ECW arena. Steve Richards was one of my trainers. Never graduated from there, but I pushed to another company. Shane Black, he was well known with the Wild Samoans. He's actually one of my trainers. I actually graduated from RCW or PWA, I think it is called. It's no longer in existence anymore. And I recently, as you can see, a lot of people can see when I made my official debut in the A&E um, segment they had for the treasures of whatever, hosted by WWE. I was one of the students for Battlefield Pro Wrestling.
Hmm.
But right
Awesome.
now, I am under. I am one of the trainers, actually. No more student. I didn't need. I was in Battlefield, but I didn't graduate from Battlefield because I was already graduated. I went in there to help the talent. Right now, I stand and I help High Ground. I'm one of the booker. I'm one of their trainers right now in High Ground Wrestling. So that's where I train right now.
Awesome. So, what kind of advice did you get from Richards that you toss into your wrestling now?
Believe in yourself. As his own words were, believe in yourself, kid, because nobody else will.
Wow. Wow, that's deep. That's deep. It sounds like something my dad, Papa Panther, always tells me when I get out of the car and I go into my job. Believe in yourself, and nobody else will. Wow. Like, is there any else? Is there any state or country that you have not been to yet, Lucas, that you really want to go to?
I mean, I've been all over. I've been all over the world, not everywhere, but I've been places. And granted, not because of wrestling. I'm also a professional bodybuilder. Um, as you can see in the back, I competed in the Arnold Classic in Ohio, PA, in Ohio, in 2022, and I won. I do a lot of traveling because of bodybuilding. I do a lot of traveling because of that, and wrestling. I travel as well. I don't have a specific place that I really want to be. I don't have a specific place that I'm looking forward to travel to. Wherever my destination is, I will go. But to be favorite, honestly, my favorite place to be is bed for a long night of wrestling.
Yeah. So when you're traveling, is it for you the local vendor, like the local places to eat, or is it like the big chains, like a Papa John's or whatever you could find that's open after a show?
It's very hard. It's very hard to when you're doing shows to eating wise. It's very hard. The best place, honestly, I would say would be PPW. Anything established with PPW is phenomenal. Especially now, Slatington, PA. The location is phenomenal. It's one of the best, honestly, in my opinion, is one of the best um, companies right now out there. Is one of the best venues, one of the best spots. They have food, they have everything. It's there. You don't have to go to like a, you know, gas station and get like a little cheeseburger that you got to heat up in the microwave. They got good stuff, top notch stuff over there.
I had
And
a gyro over there with French fries, and I was happy as a
yes,
clam, man.
yes, yes, they're one of the ones. I've been to a lot of companies and I've been to a lot of venues. Nothing bad towards them, because I love to eat, obviously. Um, but a lot of people
Latino
they
we eat
make.
all the time. So
Yeah, they're making their own little thing. They got their own little spot. They got little hot dogs and chips, and they're good for the moment. It is good. I mean, a god like myself needs proteins.
yes,
It doesn't come overnight looking like this, and it's not easy looking like this.
yeah,
So I really need to eat. And PPW events, PPW showcases, the Slatington, PA, the Expo Center is one of the best places I have ever been to. Honestly, they have everything I need in there. From the wrestling to the fans to the food, and I love food.
yeah. And like last show when you met me when I was walking around in my blue coat, that was the first time I ever met you, and also first time I ever attended a PPW show. Because Paul Bow would always message me, "Joe, you gotta come on, come." I'm like, "All right, I'll work on it." I went to like one show. Me and my dad went to a show in Allentown, PA, and it was like a smaller show, smaller promotion. And my dad's like, "Oh yeah." So when we went to the show in Slatington, we walked in, and he was just like, "Whoa, this is a big room. This is a
Yeah,
big
it's
room."
big.
And
Yeah.
I sat down in the chair, and we were about the show about to start. I looked at my dad and said, "This is like the big leagues, Dad." Not saying that promotion was the big leagues, but like it's a bigger scale, a bigger stage. For PPW is on a different stage, if you know what I mean. Than
Yeah.
more than half of like, there's a difference. Like every promotion has a different feel. You guys
Yeah,
really,
every promotion has their own little twist and things. And again, nothing to any promotion out there. I mean, I love the idea that everybody's doing their own little promotion. Some promotions shouldn't be running at all, but a lot of them are actually there to help people. And you know what? And I want to work with everybody. I want to work with everybody. I want to work with my enemies as much as I want to work with my friends. I want my name everywhere. I want my name coming out of people's mouths. Whether you hate me or you love me, you're gonna love to hate me and hate to love me. That's how I look at it in life. But I would work anywhere, and I would want to work with everybody, whether it's the smallest to the biggest. I would love to work with every one of them.
yeah, it's like the promotion that I was talking about. I don't know if you're familiar with, is House of Pain in Allentown,
Yes,
Pennsylvania.
yes.
That I love those guys. That was the first time I ever met John Rambo. I was freaking out because I'm like, he's a legend like that. Like he wrestled in like an NWA. Like I was like, I talked to him on the phone, and I'm like, you mean the John Rambo? Don't fanboy out, Joe. Calm down. He's a man like every one of us. He eats and he puts his pants on same amount of ways everybody else does. So like with you being like a like you work out a lot. So what is like your workout, like your schedule, like with your workout regimens before a show, like a week of a show, like this one that's coming up?
And week before the show. I mean, I work out. I train and I work out. Hard every week. When it comes down to the shows, we learn bodybuilders. We learn to don't work out so hard that prior week to the show because there's a chance you could get hurt. There's a chance you could pull a muscle. It's like just like Cody Rhodes, for instance. He did that. He tore his pec. It could happen at any time. So I could go in there, just decide to lift heavy one day, and then it's over. Instantly, it's over.
Mhm.
So we learn to pace ourselves the week of. So basically, what we do is instead of working out hard, super hard, we'll work medium rate, not too light, not burnouts, but definitely not shrimp training either that week. But we just train to maintain for that week, just to stay, focused, stay, just your body's loose, but it's tight at the same time as you're ready to perform. Whether it's just like when we do in bodybuilding competitions, when we do a show, we don't work out heavy that week. We go really medium that week, and just really just to maintain our body and our physique, just for that purpose.
Awesome. So, Lucius, is there any stories you want to talk about from like being on the road at like shows and anything? You know, like, is there you have any stories?
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot
We
of
got
bad
time.
ones. There's a lot of bad ones. A lot of good ones too. There's a lot of
Don't get
bad
yourself in
ones.
trouble now. We don't want to get you in trouble.
um, Stories. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard because there's so many. So I really don't know. I mean, maybe if
Like,
we talk,
what's
after
ones
a
on
while.
top of your head that you would want to just like talk about tonight?
Well, one of the stories it has just recently happened. It just recently happened. Um, I knew a kid that just started pro wrestling. I knew him years and years and years and years. I mean, when he was very, he wasn't able to wrestle at the age, and he was a wrestling fan and stuff, and I was into wrestling. He was a good, friend of mine. We parted ways. Life happens. We parted
Hmm.
ways. I
Yeah.
decided to do my journey. I'm very, I'm vainglory. And a lot of people might not know what that is. Vainglory is I love gold, as you can
Hmm.
see. I love
Yes.
gold. I love the the position of being the top, the mountain. I love it. I don't like crawling. I want to be up there already. I'm vainglory. I love the achievements, goals completed. I love, trophies, ribbons. I don't care. I'm vainglory. I want it all. So at that time, and as I am now, still vainglory. I think everybody should be that way, and everybody is that way. But at the time, I decided to leave. The kid did not want to. He looked at it and took it a different route and took it as if I was wrong because I wanted to achieve so much. So we parted ways and stuff. And he enters. Fast forward time, he enters wrestling, um, and he crossed my path.
Ooh.
So it was for him. It was his dream match, to actually go against me. Um, it wasn't too. It was a nightmare for him in that match. It was a nightmare
Hmm.
for him. But at the end of the show, at the end of the match, I still have respect for him. You see, like a lot of people has to understand with me, it's not a gimmick. Lucius Krow, the god of gods. It's not a gimmick. It's real life. I'm not the bad guy in the story. If you actually listen to me and hear me out, I'm actually the good guy. I am the one that actually can sit there and tell the boss, go screw yourself. No, there's a lot of people that can't do that, but Lucius Crow is that guy. So I do have respect for people, and I do have acknowledgement for people, as in their abilities, their loyalty. I have that, and I do express that as a God. God loves His children. And as a God, I love my children, those that follow. I love them. This kid, he was a follower. He was a believer. He became a disbeliever because he believed, the loyalty of being a vainglory guy. He didn't like that. He didn't like that option. He thought he could do it his way. So he thought he can cross my path and fight me in a dream match of his and actually beat me. And the joke was on him. It was a nightmare for him. But at the end of the match, I have plans for the kid. I have his name is Victor Shine. I have plans for that kid. He's a very bright talent. He's the future of wrestling. I say, but
Hmm.
yeah, but that's one of my stories. It was actually personal. It was a real personal story. That's what made it more amazing to me because I never thought like that would actually happen. Like I seen it happen before, and I thought, stories would just be like, oh, roads, trips in the road and see something, but it was actually something personal that I knew. And then it was like some type of anger that he had. And but because who I am and how I am, just like many people, they can't stand it. They hate it. People hate perfection because they can't reach perfection. And I am the epitome of perfection in people's eyes. So they don't like what they see, the talent, the the loyalty, the understanding of what Lucius Crow brings out. and delivers. A lot of people don't like that because it takes time. I call myself, well, correction, I don't call myself. A lot of people has called me the promo king. Why? Because I speak the truth. What I bring into the federation, what I bring into the company, what I bring into the microphone, what I bring into the fans is nothing but the truth. If you're scared of the truth, then the truth will hurt. And a lot of people are hurt because of Lucius Crow and how fast, you know, the God of gods has surpassed multiple levels and become, fun fact a lot of people might not know, in PPW, I am in September, I will be undefeated for a whole year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I
Well, I can
hold
say
this
this.
title.
Yeah.
Say,
I can
I'm
say
sorry,
this,
say it.
Lucius. I'll add your belt to. I have had wrestlers from all over the world for title belts, from tag team titles to a women's champion that has won, that came out with two belts. She won the titles, the WAW title from Germany, and she also had, I forgot the other title, but she came out with both her title belts. She couldn't bring them on the screen. Well, she had them right here. She picked them up. So now I'm going to add your beautiful belt. So talk about your belts. Like, how many opponents have you demolished and taken out since your longest reign? Like,
The latest was last week.
mm,
um, but bring it to the belt situation. I done had companies tell me you can't come in with your title. I done had companies tell me that,
wow.
and maybe they have their own little thing. The PPW title means the world to me, in many reasons, and for many reasons. So when I go and this belt has traveled, everywhere. And in case a lot of people don't know, the title's name is My Precious. And she has traveled the world with me. She has traveled federations from the biggest to the smallest. She has been there. She goes everywhere with me. She goes out to eat. She takes a drive with me. This belt is part of me. This belt is me. This belt represents no limit. And I tell you, I go to no limits to retain it, to defend it. This belt means everything to me. So wherever I go, wherever Lucius Crow is presented, the PPW No Limits champion, my precious, is always going to be right there, either on my hip, on my shoulder, or raised up to the gods.
So, is there any like wrestler in the indies that you've been watching, like on Instagram or like clips on YouTube, that you've been dying to wrestle for the No Limits title? That like are worthy to wrestle you. That they think
I
or you
mean, we talk about worthy. I had my eye on Andy Header for a
mm,
while, but I already beat him. So is he worthy? I don't know. Um, he has talent. The guy has talent. He likes to talk a lot about
yeah.
Lucius Crow, and I like that. I like that because I don't have to make him important anymore because he has made me important. As long as you have a God's name in your mouth, I am always going to be recognized. So this is what he failed on. Is he worthy enough for the title? I beat him already, but he's a pain in my ass. He is. Um, Very good talent. Very good talent. I can give
Yeah.
him that. Um, but is there anybody out there that I have my eye on? No. And the reason I don't have my eye on anybody because I make them keep an eye on me. That is the goal. That is a dream match. It's not my dream match. You see, I don't have dreams. You see, dreams are something that you do when you sleep and you wake up and you just want your dreams to come true. Dreams are a mirage. When you dream of fancy cars and money. You dreams about all different type of women. But when you wake up, you don't have that. It's a mirage. I don't have dreams. You see, I wake up every day and I live life successfully, and I grab everything that I want. Hence, any place I travel to, whether it's bodybuilding, whether it's wrestling, I am a champion in any form. I am a champion everywhere I go. So I don't have dreams like they do. So their dream matches with me, it's a mirage to me. It's just going to be an ordinary match. And it's just going to be an ordinary day for me. But see, I give them the ability and I bless them enough. I bless them enough to show them that I am superior than them.
Awesome. That's awesome, Lucius. So like let's talk about your the toy, the Mattel toy that you have of yourself. Like how'd that
Yeah,
come about?
I actually have one of my. He was a close friend at the time. He was actually working in Mattel, and he actually did a Lucius Krow figure of me. You know, we have two actually. We have one there, and then on this one, and this one here. This was actually I can bring this one out. This one was actually one of the latest ones. This was actually given by a good friend of mine, really good friend of mine, really good supporter. And he created this, and this replicated the this was the birth of, you can see it,
Well,
the
yeah, I see it. Yeah.
trumpets of the apocalypse. Now, a lot of people. Let me put this over here. A lot of people that that made that made a big impact in pro wrestling in every company that made a big impact. So that toy means a lot to me because that is the beginning of the ending of what we've created. And that the ending is not in a bad way. The ending is the beginning of our career, is the beginning of our reign, and is the ending of theirs. So Trumpets of the Apocalypse. In case a lot of people have noticed, yes, we are back. Trumpets of the Apocalypse is stronger and better than ever now. And there's a lot of people angry about that. And there's a lot of people scared and fearing because of what the abilities and the carnage that we will be delivering.
Wow. That's deep. Um in closing, um do you have any place that if anybody wants to buy any of your awesome merch, like where can they find any merch of yours?
They right now we have our merches and stuff like that. We get rid of them, or we sell them, whatever. We do them in right now. They're the page Trump is the Apocalypse in Facebook. Right now we have all our merches and stuff there. You can also find me separately, or you can find, we have Phil Insane separately. We have Lucius Krow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, well, X now it's called X, TikTok. Yeah, I'm all over in Facebook everywhere. Yeah, or even in any events you see me in any events you see me in, you'll definitely have. You know what? I have a. Let me rewind something. I do have a
Okay, okay.
dream. I do have a dream match, if you per se
Okay,
you want to
okay, go
call
for
it.
it.
Anthony McKeegan.
Okay.
And the reason, the man is a very smart man, very good businessman, very good businessman. But Anthony McKeegan is a man that gives opportunities. He's a man that gives opportunities, and he believes in people, and I like that about him. And the reason I would want to, wrestle him, because of the respect. You see, when I wrestle somebody, it's not just because I want to wrestle. It's because I absorb something from you. I absorb the abilities. Anything you grab, I can grab now. Anything you touch, I can touch now. I want the ability to be in the ring with him, the visionary. I want to be there because I want that visionary. I want to be in that ring with that man, because that man is one of the biggest people in this sport right now. And a lot of people might have their, John Cena's, their Edges, and their, whoever they want to wrestle. I would love to wrestle Anthony McKeegan if he still does wrestle, but that would be my dream match because that match would be respect as a god. And I will bless him the opportunity to be in a ring with a god. But that match right there is for me is a respect match. I won't necessarily call it a dream match because a dream match you can always wake up from. A respect match will never die. Will always be remembered. And that's what I want. I like to absorb things from people, and being in a ring with that type of caliber of, look what has become. Look what has become. I don't need to say much. We see how PPW is one of the best in NAPA right now. Big names. Listen, PPW is one of the biggest, and if you're not in it, you don't exist. If you're not in PPW, you don't exist. And it's not throwing a shot to anybody because PPW brings only but the best. And that's why I look at it. And I do have respect for PPW because I am considered one of the best. And of course, I have their champion belt right around my waist, around my shoulder, lifted high to the gods. That shows you that I am one of the best because I have achieved what many can't or couldn't or maybe possibly did but lost. But I got it. So that's respect. And that's the absorb that I want to achieve from the creator himself.
So from me, Joe Panther the third, I gotta ask you a question about the main event that night. Would you ever face if whoever wins that match, Mega or the challenger? Would you ever go for that belt? And which person would you want to wrestle in that match if they ever won the belt?
The thing is, that belt has always crossed my mind, everybody's mind. Now, I am the only one. I am the only one that's actually closer to being the actual number one contender because everybody that has been fighting for that title, and I've been sitting back, relaxing, sitting back patiently, watching and watching and looking and seeing how everything is being developed. Everybody that you have seen that went for that title and lost it or won it, they all have lost in their career. And I say to myself, I am the number one contender at any given day because I am undefeated. I am born a champion. And that title, yes, that title, they're both good competitors in that match. Two good competitors. But are they greater than the God? And yes, the God does have his eyes, just like everybody in that company has his eyes on that title. But it's the process of how to do it. You see, these people make mistakes and go right at it, and then they fail. I think of how I'm gonna do it, and it will happen soon. One day it will happen. Is it gonna happen today at this moment? It can happen anytime, but I have to do it the right way in order to be the god of PPW.
Mm, awesome, Lucius. If there was anybody watching this podcast tonight that wanted to get in the wrestling business so bad, and like 18, 19-year old, they love wrestling, they go to all the shows, what kind of advice would you give them?
Believe in yourself, kid, because nobody else will. Push
Awesome.
yourself to the limit. Don't stop. When they say you can't, prove them prove them all wrong. But most importantly, prove yourself wrong. Because anybody can become anybody. Don't cross my path. But achieve achieve everything you have. Don't ever let nobody tell you you can't do anything. Don't believe anybody. They say you're too short, you're too big, you're too skinny, you're nothing. Nothing can stop you in here. And that brings me to the beginning. Believe in yourself. Because if you don't, nobody else will.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lucius. I thank you so much. I can't wait to hang out with you again and the be in the arena for the anniversary show. I'm so excited. I'm so amped. I really I know in my heart that you're gonna come out on top and we'll be able to take that victory photo after the show or at intermission. I'm Joe Panther the third. Oop, wrong way. There you go. Your turn. And this is Lucius Krow, and we will catch you in the next one. See you on Saturday, fam.